Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this special forum of the City Club of Cleveland. The City Club is in its 98th year and is the longest-running free speech forum in the country. I am Don Cairns, past president of the City Club Forum Foundation, and I am very pleased to welcome each of you to this forum today. Our speaker is Richard K. Davis, Chairman, President, and CEO of U.S. Bancorporation, a financial holding company with over $280 billion of assets across the United States, Canada, and Europe. By the reckoning of the Federal Reserve on its website, it is the 11th largest bank in the U.S. and has an extensive presence here in Northern Ohio. Mr. Davis became CEO of the bank in 2006, having been a senior executive with the company since 1993. He has 33 years of experience in the banking industry and was one of the key leaders in the successful mergers of First Star with U.S. Bancorp in 2001, and before that of mergers of other banks in 1998 and 99 in the lineage which has produced today's U.S. Bancorporation. A quick Googling of Mr. Davis revealed that his banking career began as a teller when he was studying for a degree at Mahalo Business College of California State University at Fullerton. He serves on the boards of the Minnesota Orchestra, the Minneapolis YMCA, the Minneapolis Art Institute, the University of San Diego, Xcel Energy, U.S. Bancorp, and one of Ohio's jewels, the National Underground Railroad Freedom Center in Cincinnati. He is married and is the father of 3 adult children. Please give a warm City Club welcome to the chairman of U.S. Bancorp, Richard K. Davis.
Well, good afternoon, and thank you for your attention and for coming today. It's indeed my pleasure, maybe one of my biggest honors, to speak here today, and I thank you for that. Gary, your stories are apparently well known, and I'm looking forward to getting a long book of all the stories you tell every time, alligators or not. And Don, thank you for that very generous invitation. So, it's July 28, 2010, and it's the middle of the summer, it's the middle of the week. Here we are in Cleveland, Ohio. And in a couple of years, we're going to look back, we're going to ask ourselves, where were you in the summer of 2010? And I'm going to say to you, less importantly than where you were, it's how were you? And so the discussion that we're going to have today, these few minutes on leadership in turbulent times, is drawn back to me to give ourselves the chance to think about how we want to finish this difficult time. This is our chance to pause and unexpectedly decide, am I doing what I need to do as a leader? Am I taking the actions I should take as a human being, as a citizen, as a partner in this great Northeast Ohio market to change the future? And so I'll basically entitle the next few minutes Halftime. I like halftime because it's a perfect visual for what happens in the middle of a game. And if you pick a basketball scenario, think about it. The clock starts to wind down at the end of the first half. 3, 2, 1. Everybody parts. The 2 teams go in different directions. The coaches follow the teams back into the locker room. And invariably there is that nuisance of a TV correspondent who runs up with the microphone in the face of the coach. And there's 2 coaches. So one of the stories is, Coach, you're doing fantastically. You're way ahead. Everything's working together. How do you feel right now? And the coach says, well, things are working pretty good. I'm pretty pleased with everyone's performance. We're going to do our best to come out here and win this game. Thank you for that inspired thought, Coach. And over the other side of the court, there's another microphone. Coach, things are not quite going your way. You're a little bit behind. What are you going to tell the folks inside that locker room when you get in there? Well, we're doing our best, and we're going to do everything we can to turn things around, and we're going to win this game. Now, it doesn't really matter what they say, but they both absolutely positively intend to go into the halftime and to reconstruct a way to win this game. They're only halfway through it, and they both believe they're going to win it. It's July 28th, 2010. It's halftime. Now, if you think about this, there's more to halftime than just the idea of getting together and pausing. More often than not, the win is dictated by the group or the people or the person that believes most in the outcome and the possibility of winning. So it's all about belief. It's a lot to do with that's not necessarily the tangible aspect of skill. It has a lot to do with understanding what's going on. Halftime is extra cool because you already have all the facts. Now I know how the game's played. I know exactly how the other team lines up against our team. I know exactly the temperature on the court. I know whether or not the court feels fast and well-groomed. I know the referees and the umpires. I know the way I feel whether we're being treated fairly. I know whether my best player is feeling good and playing well. You know all these facts. So you have everything you need to construct the second half. And as much as we may not like where we are at this pertinent time in American history, this difficult recession we're living through, we have all the facts. So what are we going to do with it? And what should we do to change the future? So let me walk you through a couple of quotes from a fellow who's quite good at this basketball analogy, and that's Coach K from Duke University. He has a couple of great ones. One is, imagination has a great deal to do with winning. And so he believes, and he's been written up many times about, it's not just the winning part through the skill, it's believing it yourself and translating that belief to the people who actually have to do it. See, the other thing about a coach is they're not actually allowed on the court. And if they are, they're going to be kicked out of the room. So they literally cannot do the job of playing the game. They must inspire others to do it. The Gipper speech, if you will. Imagination provides the opportunity for everyone to believe it's possible. He says whatever a leader does now sets up what he or she does later, and there's always a later. One of my favorite things as a banker is we're often asked, so what's going to happen with the economy? Like we have some crystal ball to it. We have a lot of information, but I'll tell you what, I'll play it out right here in the City Club. There is a recession, there will be a recovery. There, I said it. I want to own that quote forever. And I'm not that brilliant. You know there's going to be recovery. You know it. It's what cycles are. None of us are old enough to have been through all of them, but we're old enough to have read about all the ones we weren't living through. There's going to be recovery. So let's plan for it, let's lead to it, and let's get there faster. He goes on to say, I believe a big part of success is about winning the moment. So what I'm saying to you is in this very long journey called a recession, this very long window of time where we'll look back and it'll be maybe 4 years long. I don't expect to exactly remember this lunch, but this isn't a bad time, summer of 2010, to pause and call it the moment. The moment on whether or not I'm doing what I should do as a leader, as a business person, as a citizen, as an American, to get things better. Because I do have all the information, and I do believe it's going to get better. So, more than that, there were some studies done in the 80s and the 90s by basketball psychologists or psychologists on basketball players. And they brought together a number of players. And this has been studied in a number of ways, so I'm going to put these all together. But they brought basketball players together to see what the difference is on those who believe and those who just practice. It's called visual imagery. Now, I have 3 children. They're all adults now. But if they were in this room, this would be their eyes would roll back to the back of their head. And I don't know how many times I said to them, close your eyes, picture the moment, picture the event, picture it being done, picture it successful. And I must say that at least 2 of the 3 of them as adults have committed to me that it's actually worked. The other one, still a holdout. But the fact of the matter is, in the 80s and 90s, they brought together basketball players, and they did this in a number of different ways, but since this is all basketball. And they took them into 4 different groups. They had them all practice their basketball free throw skills before the beginning of the test. And so they got a baseline on everybody. And then they broke them into 4 groups. And the group number 1 was just go sit over there. Talk amongst yourself, just hang out for a while. Or chill, as they would say today. Group number 2, I want you to go over here and sit down. And I want you to picture for 30 minutes, close your eyes, don't fall asleep, picture you grabbing the ball, you bouncing the ball, you looking at the rim, you reaching back, cocking back, shooting the ball, and you picture it going in every single time. And to help you along, I will tell you every 45 seconds to do it again and again. So you can't fall asleep on me, and every time that basketball goes in. And I want you to actually send the basketball to a different place on either the backboard or on the rim, but it still goes in. You got it? Done. The other group's still chilling. This group's got their eyes closed and deep in meditation. Group 3, come on back out on the court. You have 30 minutes, practice free throw shooting. Go.